Alright, good day everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit like, comment, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you can know when I'm uploading to the channel. Y'all, first I want to tell you that sometimes when you guys post comments on the channel, I appreciate it, but for some reason it'll come to my email, but it would not come to the YouTube platform. I don't know what's going on with that. So if you are commenting, it's not that I'm ignoring you, it's just that I can't comment. So I don't know why that is, but that's what's going on right now. I guess they're all having glitches and things like that. And also, I really appreciate all of the donations and things like that you guys sent to my PayPal and my Patreon and my my Cashapp. So I really appreciate you guys. And to Casey and Ratumala, no, I cannot do anything about human trafficking. I was in law enforcement for several years, and not several years, but I was in law enforcement as an investigator, and I was able to stop some human trafficking of children, but I didn't get many of those cases. So, but if I was still in law enforcement, I would. But right now, I'm on the outside of that, trying to enforce things in the spiritual world. All right, so that's pretty much it, right? So we are going to now get into the ancestor message. And so the ancestors are wanting you guys to know that they don't want you to lose sight of the like, they don't want you to lose your vision. And they're not talking about like physical eyesight. They're saying like whatever it is that you have put your mind to doing, they do not want you to lose sight of that vision. They do not want you to lose sight of that calling. They actually want you to figure out, like, do some reflection on what caused you to like put it down. Okay, like what caused you to like halt it. Because their instructions weren't for you to halt what it was that you were doing. Their instructions were for you to just rest for a little bit and retreat and do some relaxation and do some self-care. But like, what they're saying is like you just like completely put it down, and that wasn't their instruction to you. So they are not wanting you to lose sight of the vision. And for those of you that have not started moving in that direction, they don't want you to lose hope. All right, they don't want you to lose hope of your vision. All right, because you've had this vision for quite some time. You know for a fact that you can attain this. All right, there may not be a way visible right now to you, but the way will come. Okay, the way will come. So you have to continue to project that positivity and continue to say this thing. And I know y'all like, oh man, this spiritual world is so redundant, because all they say is continue to speak positive. And how can you speak positive when everything is going so crazy right now? And you just have to keep doing it. Listen, there's no clear-cut, dry, logical explanation as to how this works. All we know is that you continue to say these positive things, and it's going to begin to resonate within you and activate things within you as you affirm these things, and then your mind will begin to believe these things, and the universe don't know when you're joking or you're serious, so it's going to deliver these things. All right, it's like you just speaking it out into the universe, and then the universe matches the frequency that's attached to your belief, right? So it matches the frequencies that are attached to your belief, and it brings it to you. That's how the law of attraction works. It's like the different frequencies align together. All right, so that's what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to continue to just persevere and push forward, and continue to ask for, continue to draw these things to you by using these positive affirmations and putting forth the effort to attain this. Okay, your guides and your ancestors are also saying that like some of the feelings that continue to come up within you is because of that orphan feeling that you experience. All right, and what happens to the orphan is the older the orphan gets, or the older the orphan gets within the orphanage, they feel like, there's less and less chance of anybody wanting them, and there's less and less chance of, them being adopted. Okay, and so that feeling of being an orphan is like you just kind of like never fit in, or you kind of just feel like misplaced, and like there's not a family for you, or there is not something out there for you. So you start to develop these habits of people pleasing and doing these things and overcompensating for other people, because you fear losing these people out of your life, or you fear losing relationships that you have established. So you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, and you don't want to get hurt in the process by speaking your true self, or speaking like what's true to you, and speaking up for the things that you believe in and for the things that you desire, right? And so because you have these orphan wounds, or these orphan like tendencies, it's almost as if you're compromising a lot of yourself just so that you can say that you have this. All right, and so your guides and your ancestors are saying that you have to release that. You have to release that, because they don't want you just existing in your reality. They want you to actually live within your reality. All right, and so in order to live within your reality, you have to begin to focus more on self and put self first, and that's how you're going to begin to materialize the world that you desire for yourself. All right, and so the more that you focus on loving yourself, the less and less that feeling of being an orphan, or those feelings associated with an orphan, will come up. All right, but it's you just kind of feel like you're like on this road all by yourself. All right, and that's what your ancestors are saying. You're not by yourself, because they are like right there with you. They are there. They are guiding you. They're always with you, and they're sending you little signals, like showing you that they're with you. Like the ringing of the ears, like to the point to where you can't hear what's going on. So if you've been having that sensation, that ear ringing thingy, they've been letting you know that they're with you by the ear ring. And others of you, they've been letting you know in other ways, but it's something that can get your attention. All right, it's something that could get your attention, and it gets your attention easily. And maybe because it's so annoying, that's what they're using to get your attention. But they're doing things with sound. They're doing things with sound in order to get your attention. All right, so your ancestors are communicating with you. They are right there with you. Your guides are there with you. Your spirit team is there with you. All right, so you just have to pay attention to the signs and the things that they are sending you. Pay attention to the intuitive messages that they are sending you, because they're sending you a lot of the answers that you need. And they're saying like, look, go ahead, focus on your plan, and it's time to go to war for that plan. It's time to give it your all. It's time to, release whatever feelings are associated with victimhood, and release that. All right, and so it's time for a lot of you to go ahead now and step up into your leadership position. Your guides and your ancestors have been calling you to step up into a leadership role. So it's time for a lot of you to begin to step into that assignment of leadership. And whatever that leadership role is, it could be leadership at your job. You might have been, trying not to get promoted at your job because you didn't want more responsibility. But they're saying that like if you take that position, then that may bring in more income, and that may bring in more abundance, and you'll have less, issues. But you really have to step outside of your comfort zone here. And others of you, they're wanting you to step up in a leadership position in this world, all right? And so that, you could begin to do what you also agreed to doing, all right? Because you said that you were ready for more responsibility from the ancestor realm, from the spirit world. And so here they are, they're giving it to you. They have downloaded all these things into you. You have all of the different messages that they have given you, and yet you're kind of like holding on to them. All right. And so they're saying, like, look, we've been speaking to you. Creator saying, like, sending messages, sending signs, sending signals, sending you stuff to tell people, and you scared to tell them. They said, like, they sent you some messages and they told you to tell people, and you scared to tell them because you scared of how this person was going to react. It was like a fear surrounding how the person was going to react, and that's not what they sent you the message for. You got to figure out a way to get that message out. All right, regardless of how the person gonna feel about it. But they saying do it with love, because some of y'all be delivering the messages and it be a little snappy, and not everybody can take that snap. Okay, but your guides and your ancestors are saying, yes, it's time for you to step into that leadership role. And others of you that have been leading or wondering why, maybe there are some things that you haven't received from the ancestors as of yet, or maybe it's something that you haven't received from your guides as of yet, and you're just begging and wanting it to come in and wanting it to come in. The more that you heal, right? The more that you heal, the more your gifts are going to flourish, the more things are going to come in. All right, the more your ability to channel, all that different stuff, the more that you heal, because a lot of your gifts are associated with your healing in a way. All right, because when you're doing channeling and you're doing mediumship and you're doing readings and things like that, you have to be aware of all of your senses. And so if you're one of those people that are heartless, then you can't, it's going to be quite difficult for you to feel, right? If you're one of those people that refuse to see anything, that avoid what's being seen, then you're not going to be able to see spirits when they come. You're not going to be able to see signs when they're right in front of you and things like that. So it's just like the more that you heal, the more that your gifts that you really want to come in will develop. But what your guides and ancestors wanted me to tell you guys is that not one sense is better than the other. All right, they're all important in the grand scheme. All right, not one title is better than the other. They actually want you to get away from titles and labels and things like that, because the titles and labels restrict you from actually doing the work. All right, you do not have to be a high priestess to deliver a message. You do not have to be an emperor to deliver a message. You do not have to be all of these things to deliver these messages. All right, all of that stuff is man-made anyway. All of those titles and labels, they're man-made. It's something that someone created in like the 1600s when they created this vocabulary stuff, and then they started writing in the English language and all of that stuff. But it's all man-made. The spirit world don't care about what you thinking about you being a high priestess or anything like that. They don't care. Spirit world, whoever light on, that's who the spirit world talking to. Okay, they don't care who you are. All right, you could be a stranger on the street. Then they come and say, hey, I got you to get this message. And stranger on the street can give a message. Okay, so get away from those titles, get away from those labels. All that stuff is fugazi. It's all man-made. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, especially when it comes to this spiritual world. All right, so that's what your guides and ancestors are saying. Like, look, get away from the titles, get away from the labels. Oh shoot, are you coachable? Are you coachable? Oh, some of y'all can't be coached. People telling y'all things and messages are coming in, and you ignoring it because it's not what you want to do. All right, and your guys are like, you got to be a little bit more coachable. You got to be a little bit more teachable, because you don't know everything. No one knows everything, and that's why there's that saying that say, you learn something new every day. I don't know who that is, but you learn something new every day. So you're never going to stop learning. That's what your guys and ancestors want you to know. You're never going to stop learning, so you have to be coachable. Medicine woman, medicine man. Okay, so in y'all past life, it was some people here that were like medicine men or women or root workers, right? And y'all might have heard that some of your ancestors, like your aunts and uncles and moms and dads and all that stuff, were into that type of stuff. All right, and so y'all was that. And so if you have been feeling called to start playing with some herbs and things like that, or making little things with herbs and things like that, and creating soaps and shampoos and all that stuff, then go ahead and do that, because you are an alchemist. All right, you have everything that you need to create whatever it is that you desire, right? And so you are alchemist. You're into creation. You have the ability to mix things together and create potions and but they really want you to understand your powers, and they really want you to understand that your abilities as an alchemist, all right? So you have to understand those abilities. But a lot of y'all have been doing that work, and then some of you guys are very, 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 very like shamanism. I don't know who's the shaman on here. Hey, whoever the shamans are, y'all go ahead and drop it down in the comments, okay? Because I love seeing shamans come across this channel. But whoever the shamans are, like, go ahead and drop that thing down in the comment. But your guys and your answers saying, like, if that's what you've been feeling called to do, go ahead and do that. So this right here for you, this part of the message right here is just confirmation and clarity. All right, it's not something that you didn't already know. You already actually knew this. All right, and you've been contemplating it, and you probably been dabbling in it, because I'm feeling like they got me feeling like you already done did some stuff. Like, but you just unsure and you scared to tell people about it. They're saying, please go ahead and tell people about it. All right, just go ahead and step out there in it. All right, so some step up into leadership, some step out, focus on your plan, take charge. All right, go to war for it. If it's worth it, fight for it. Okay, if it's worth it, fight for it. Spouse. Okay, so spouse. Okay, so this person, this is somebody's spouse, and so the message that I'm getting is, just because they're gone does not mean that their love has stopped. All right, so just because they're gone does not mean that their love has stopped. All right, their love is, they still love you. All right, they're still, they're with you, guiding you, checking in on you when need be. They're seeing you. All right, so just acknowledge that you recognize that they are there too, because your guys and your ancestors are talking about this connection. Like, this is like this conscious connection that y'all had too. This conscious connection that y'all had, like you and your spouse had this connection, and y'all still have this connection, still exists, even though your spouse is not there any longer. Okay, so whoever this message is for, your spouse is there. You don't have to drop anything in the comments or anything like that, because this is a very intimate moment, but they are there with you, and you guys still have that conscious connection. So make sure that when you feel like your spouse is present, and when you feel like it's a message from your spouse, that you say, hey babe, I know it's you, because that connection is still there. So that connection was not lost, and that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. All right, so yeah, so back to the message, and thank you, ancestors, for bringing that message to me. And so back to the message, but your ancestors and your guides are like, you got to figure out the things that are triggering you. All right, you have to be coachable. You have to go ahead and step out into that leadership position. You cannot be worried about whether or not, you saying things or you doing things is going to cause somebody to love you less. All right, this is an opportunity. This is a time for you to focus on you. This is an opportunity for you to focus on the things that you really desire. They are ready for you to live. All right, they are tired of you just existing, and they are ready for you to live. And they know that you are ready to live too. All right, so that's pretty much it, you guys. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed this message. Okay, if you guys are interested in connecting with me on Patreon, the link is in the description below. We have our meetups, I would say bi-weekly, but if it's 5 weeks in a month, then of course it's not going down like 3 times a month or nothing like that. But we connect and we talk about all things spiritual. We also have a support group that we connect with at least once a month now. It used to be more times a month, but now it's once a month because of the demand and the schedule and things like that. But this is an opportunity for us to just, communicate. Like, we just be communicating. We be talking about everything. All right, we talk about all things because, you never know what somebody's going through. All right, so we just be that, we just be the personal reason for people within the tribe, people within our soul family. And for those orphans, or the ones that have those orphanage feelings, you have connected with your soul tribe. You have connected with your soul family. All right, there are people that are going to be there for you. There are people that are going to tell you the truth, even if you don't want to hear it, because sometimes you have to be slapped with the truth so that you can come up out that victimhood, okay? All right, but listen, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of the support of the channel. I appreciate everything, all the comments that y'all come in and I don't see, and all the comments that I see, all right? And so I hope y'all enjoyed this message, and I'll holler at y'all.